everybody, it's that time of the day. You're in central London. You don't fancy the sit down, fine dining, posh nosh. No, you want something that's going to fill that spot. Quick, cheap, and really tasty. I've got just the place for you. Welcome to the Halal Guys. Of the Halal Guys. It is very exciting stuff because I am here with a gentleman that owns one of the franchises of this amazing establishment. Young.
Thank you so much.
Did I say your name properly?
Very good. Thank you so much.
Now, right, this is quite unusual because you've got a part in this business, and usually anyone that owns a franchise wouldn't be in the kitchen preparing, but you get quite involved, do you not?
Yes, I think if you have a restaurant, you need to get your hands down and dirty. You get to go down and dirty with everything. It's about giving the best for your customers, and you can only do that if you're involved yourself.
So, what are you hiding in that container?
One of our main products is the chicken. Like I said before, we're using UK sourced chicken, all halal certified, all red tractor. We're using thigh meat. It has the most flavor because of the fat content.
Yes.
It stays the juiciest when you cook it, and the fillet tends to be drier if you cook it. So a good leg meat or thigh meat is much better to work with.
So what are you going to marinate it in?
Yeah. So the marination is the pure chicken, and we're just going to clean it and check it for going to check it for some remnants of bones or skin. This process is probably not the most photogenic, but it's necessary to make sure that our customers have the best experience possible by making sure there's no bones,
okay,
no blood.
And then moving on to the marinade.
Yes.
What will that be? Is it just the simple?
The marinade is a mix of spices and herbs.
Can I see that?
Yes, of course.
Is it the one that's just over there?
Yes, that's
Let me
correct.
get that for
you can get that.
Actually, I've had my eye on it.
It's pre-mixed, obviously, because it's of course our secret spice mix.
Right. So Young, do you know what's in here?
Yeah.
Being one of the owners.
I know what's in there. I don't know the exact quantities because being a franchise, it's a genuine secret recipe.
Nod your head for yes. Garlic powder, onion powder, salt, quite a lot of black pepper, quite coarse black pepper, I must say, but it's nice. Some cumin. From some, it seems like it's like almost oregano. It's very, very peppery and it's nice, but it's very strong with the garlic, which owes to the chicken. It'll just absorb those lovely flavors. And I suspect there's a lot more in there. But you'd have to kill me if you told me.
Exactly.
I've been watching Young very successfully cleaning 5 kilos of chicken thighs here. So what goes in next then?
So now we have cleaned and checked all the chicken thigh. Then we're going to marinate it. We're going to marinate it with a simple vinegar and with the spice mix.
The spice mix, some of which I'm sure I have identified the ingredients of. You're not letting on at all.
Came a long way. Yeah.
So the white, is it white wine vinegar or just white?
No, it's a malt vinegar.
Okay, it's a malt vinegar. So the malt vinegar, there's quite a small amount there, I would say.
Yeah, you don't need to. It's give it a bit of liquid, to give it a bit of acidity, but not too much. It's actually it's a low grade malt vinegar, about 5%,
right?
Because otherwise it becomes too strong.
Yeah, of course, and also
especially when you start cooking it.
Yes,
you will start to notice it too much.
Yeah,
it's just to give an extra layer of taste.
It's been very well mixed together. And how long do you leave it now?
And we leave it for 12 or a minimum of 12 hours.
12 hours?
For 12 hours, so basically we marinate twice a day, one for the morning and one for the evening preparation.
Right, okay.
So you're always eating the freshest chicken.
Okay, so Young, we're going to go upstairs now to the main kitchen, which is on the same floor as the rest of the restaurant. It's like your kitchen theatre, isn't it, really? It's where all the cooks do their thing in front of their customers. And I've been up there, it's really, really buzzing. So let's go up there and see what's going on.
Excellent.
So here we are at the Halal Guys in Leicester Square, and buzzing it is indeed, particularly here now in the open kitchen, in the heart of the restaurant itself. It's kitchen theatre time with our franchisee Young. So we marinated the chicken downstairs. Now you're going to be demonstrating to us on this cooker exactly how it's done.
Exactly. Here's where all the magic happens.
All the magic.
And so we're cooking it on a flat top, on a flat grill, on its highest setting. It's about 500 Fahrenheit, so it is at 350 Celsius.
I can feel it.
Yeah, it's nice. It's good. You get a good sauna.
Yes.
It's a good sauna here. So I'll take the chicken which we previously marinated. It's been kept in the cold in the fridge here.
Right, now as you said, this has been marinating for how many hours?
For 12 hours.
For 12 hours. And as we
minimum
said,
of 12 hours.
That's right. And as we'd said actually, and the chicken itself has lost its slight pinkness because we've been marinating it in the vinegar and the other ingredients, which really helps tenderize and to some extent cook it as well slightly.
The most fun part, where you can put all your aggression of the whole day in.
Oh, you're going to start chopping it up.
The chopping of the meat. In the corner, like I said, I turn it down on the temperature and then cover it with our pita bread. We're using Greek pita. A Greek pita is slightly different than a Turkish pita. Mostly, it's not puffed, so it's a flat pita, and it bends easier. So this is made to a recipe followed from the Halal Guys, which they've been using since 1990 in New York, and is now specially made for us here in the UK.
Managed to cook the chicken, and now you're going to start assembling the dish.
Exactly.
Go for it. You've got your whole production line going on down there.
The production line is all over here. I'll concentrate it over here. So one of the things that made the Halal Guys famous in New York ever since 1990, when the founders started the concept, is the platter. And the platter of chicken over rice with lettuce and tomato and a famous white sauce and a famous hot sauce.
Oh, it sounds delicious. Yeah. Well, I know it doesn't just sound, I know it tastes delicious as well. This is the base of the plate, of the platter. So it's a generous portion of rice, generous portions of lettuce and tomato. And now we're putting the chicken we cooked. The chicken we cooked earlier on the plate. So added to this is some pita bread, and then we have the famous sauces, the white sauce and the hot sauce. White sauce is delicious. It's really Moorish, and you can't once you start, you can't have enough of it. Gyro. This is what I've come here for. Jan, my mouth has been salivating all day waiting for this bit.
Yeah, excellent. Well, so we're using 100% British beef.
Yes.
The beef is reared in Ireland, and made to our specifications with our secret spices into the cone, which is being, as we just saw, roasted on the gyro machine.
Okay.
Once that's sliced, which we just did, we then do a second preparation, and that's where we differentiate from anything else in the market. We give it a second cook. The second cook, again on the flat top, where the light brown slices of beef gyro are being cooked to golden brown. It's interesting, for instance, that you would think our food, a beef gyro, the chicken, you automatically think of heavy food. It's actually the contrary. Our small platter is only just over 600 calories. So with the rice, with the salad, and still with on a small platter about 140 grams of meat. That's not a lot. You can eat it every day. I eat it every day, and there you go.
I could possibly eat it every day.
Good. So I cooked it to bite-sized pieces, a quarter of an inch to slightly smaller, and is now ready to be served to our discerning customer.
Okay, so we've been at the Halal Guys all day, and what an experience it's been. I've been treated to the most delicious food, and now that part of the show that I really love the most, when we get to taste the efforts and the products of everything that Jan particularly has been making. We're joined by Jan, who you've seen has been making the food and is a franchisee. Another franchisee, Whitney, here as well. Lovely to have you both share this moment.
Thank you.
It's great to be here.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah.
It's been absolutely lovely, despite that weather outside and the crowds. I have to say, it's been very, very noisy. There's a premiere going on outside in the Odeon, so the crowds have been roaring, haven't we? Yep. Haven't they? But we've been concentrating on our food. So what have we got here then?
We've got two of our side dishes here, hummus and baba ganoush. So hummus and the classic Mediterranean mix with sesame seeds and chickpeas. We finish it off with a little bit of a hot paprika powder, and the baba ganoush. Again, a Mediterranean dip made of aubergine, olive oil, a bit of garlic, lots of herbs.
Boys, I'm going to go for it. You guys help yourself as well, please.
Yeah, of course. And we're eating it with a piece of our Greek pita. Greek pita because of the consistency, especially made for us after the recipe they're also using in New York.
I have to say that is delicious. It's really silky on the palate. It's dreamy. It's very smooth as well. I love that texture. I don't like the grainy texture. You've got the right texture there. It's very, very tasty, and the balance of salt as well, and the lemon and the garlic. It just really, really works. So Jan, the next thing down the conveyor belt here, the conveyor belt of heaven, food heaven.
So, our chicken platter, and we prepared it together here earlier, and so it's shark griddled chicken, cut to bite-sized pieces with our famous white sauce, and more white sauce, and the explosive hot sauce, served on a bed of rice and lettuce with tomato.
Now, we talked about the nutritional value of this. Do you know how many calories are in, not specifically, but in each of these?
Yes, in a small platter. This is a regular platter. In a small platter, it starts at 600 calories, just over 620 to be exact. So it's almost food for every day, and 620 calories for a full-size meal. is pretty decent actually.
That is actually. Right,
Now,
let's
as you
have a taste.
bite into this, we do have our red sauce, our hot sauce.
Yes.
170,000 on the Scoville scale.
Oh, I thought it was 130. It's
Nope.
actually 100.
Actually 170,000 on the Scoville scale. So it is quite hot.
Hotter than a habanero.
I would, yes.
So presumably you have a warning before people actually venture into.
Oh yes, it's important. And,
I'm going to try that and see.
the whole team will warn you if you ask, oh, can I have some more hot sauce? Can I have some more hot sauce? Which a lot of people do, not knowing the intensity of the sauce, because as you probably notice now, it's quite explosive.
So when you initially put it into your mouth, you don't quite get it. It's only while you were talking
It builds.
that it builds to a crescendo. But it is so delicious. Actually, the danger of having a hot sauce is that it takes the attention away from all the flavors that are going on in the dish, but that's not happening here.
One of the biggest
Right.
benefits of this food, of these two sauces,
Yes.
our white sauce and our hot sauce, they tend to balance each other out. And so you've got to have, as I would have, cart style, which is lots of white sauce, and then just a touch of hot sauce. It makes the difference.
It's absolutely delicious. So you walk into an average fast food place, don't you? And you get the processed fast food. Over here, the processing is being done in the kitchen right in front of you. It's good, it's honest, and it's simple, and it's fresh, and I think that is it. But what's interesting is that, in terms of growth, we've gone from the street cart, which incidentally drew attention because all the cab drivers had realised that they were selling halal meat, halal meals, and just flocked to it completely. You've then now gone to, as you said, the bricks and mortar restaurants, where I understand there are 450 sites that are spread now over 6 countries. And you've got 20 locations that you're thinking of, or the intention is to expand in the UK. So you're thinking big here.
Well, so we're responding to the market, to be honest. This is the reason why this food, the reason why the cabbies sought this food out initially was because it's healthy, it's hearty, it's halal, and it's affordable. And so, as a response, we're the second most Yelped brand in New York City. In New York City's very competitive restaurant scene, to be the second most Yelped restaurant to be a food cart is a very big deal. And so what winds up happening is the founders, the CEO of the company, they didn't want to just keep it for themselves. They wanted to spread it around. And in the process, now we have over 100 open locations around the world, as you mentioned.
Wow.
Over 450 in development. And
Yes.
of course, Jan and ourselves and our other partner are opening up 20 over the course of the next 5 years here in the UK. So.
And we know how much celebrities love this as well, because of course Cardi B has given you a
Yes.
nod in her song, has she not? What does she say? Eating halal, driving the lamb.
Yep.
So we know that she was referring to halal food, guys. That is amazing.
It is.
Yeah.
It is, and it speaks to simple, honest food, right? We're not trying to do anything complicated. We're trying to deliver something that resonates with everyone.
Absolutely. So what have we got next here?
So the next plate is our beef gyro platter. So
I was listening to what you were saying, by the way, while this was just in front of me.
Understood.
The beef
So the
gyro.
beef gyro.
Oh my gosh.
In this case, it's served with the white sauce, a bit of the hot sauce, and also our barbecue sauce.
Ah, so something different as well.
And then on the side we have our falafel.
Yeah,
vegan.
falafel I'm giving a gentle nod to, like a very kind nod for the time being.
Yeah,
'cause
and with our homemade tahini sauce.
with your homemade tahini sauce. Well, this has to be first, I'm sorry. Guys, are you not going to join me?
Well, the other thing I do want to point out is this
Yeah.
is the first chicken platter that we had was a regular, and this is a small.
So even a small one will be
This is a really generous portion.
enough for a normal eater. I mean, I'm 6'4" and 180 pounds, but I mostly take a small one, which is enough.
A very, very generous portion. Do you know, this is just so tender. The meat is juicy, it's really flavoursome. It's probably the most sophisticated type of kebab of this kind that I've ever had. It's really tasty, and that's your key to your success, isn't it? That's why people come back.
It's the quality of the food, the consistency of the food, like Whitney already said. That's what people make people come back, and it's it's easy to recognize who we are and where we are, and the yellow and red branding, and the how the stores look. It's easy to recognize, and it makes people come back for it. All throughout the US, even in the Far East. It's a massive success in the Philippines, for instance, Canada now, and now we landed here in the UK.
Right, falafel.
Falafel.
Again, a very, very popular dish. Guys?
Pure chickpea. Chickpea, vegan. Obviously with spices and herbs. It always tastes succulent and moist. Doesn't become dry as some falafel can become. And we serve it with some homemade tahini sauce.
So, do you make these with chickpeas, or do you
Chickpeas.
mix them with the fava beans?
No, pure 100% chickpeas.
Because sometimes you do get the falafel, don't you, that's mixed with the fava beans, or just for the fava beans without the chickpeas. And the thing about falafel is, this is something that I make at home. This is so easy. Again, you don't need to boil the chickpeas, you just soak them and then you grind them straight away. The moment you start soaking them, you are bringing moisture in, and then it's really hard to form that dough. You end up adding flour and it just doesn't turn out right after that. Can you give any ideas as to what the ingredients are? What do you add to your falafel? I mean, I'll tell you what I add and you just give a nod. So, garlic, parsley, shallots or spring onions. I can't tell. I can't tell what he's saying.
And we won't tell either.
No, cumin, coriander.
Yeah, it's a Mediterranean dish, so the traditional Mediterranean herbs and spices are going in there. But you taste it for yourself, you will see, and it's very flavorful, and there's not
Love the
something
texture.
there's not something which overpowers.
So Jan and Whitney, thank you so much. You've just been absolutely wonderful hosts. I have really enjoyed my day here. It's been brilliant. I mean, the location of this restaurant, your staff are absolutely amazing. You really have a fantastic team going on here.
Well, thank you for coming to Leicester Square. We're glad you came, and
It
we're
was great
really
to have you.
Yeah, absolutely.
It will be the first of many visits to come, I'm
Thank you.
sure.
I hope
Thank
so.
you. Well, what can I say? I have thoroughly enjoyed my iftar here at the Halal Guys, and my crew are especially happy now that they've been fed. It is definitely the place to come to break your fast. Quick, easy, delicious, reasonably priced. What more can I say? Join me next time on Iftar Run, only on Islam Channel.